Commissioner Willox from Wyoming.
Thank you, Chairman Bishop, Ranking Member Grijalva, and members of the committee. My name is Jim Willox, and I've been a Converse County Commissioner for 11 years and also serve on the board of the Wyoming County Commissioners Association, who I represent today. County commissioners across Wyoming are actively engaged in NEPA analysis of all types. I am personally the main point of contact for 2 EISs underway in our county for proposed oil and gas projects. Commissioners are elected administrators with broad mandates to advance the well-being of our entire county, not just one slice of it. With that in mind, I'd like to offer these suggestions. It is important to remember Congress's original intent in drafting NEPA. In part, it was to encourage productive and enjoyable harmony between man and his environment. Unfortunately, in recent years, NEPA has mushroomed into an exhaustive analytical effort on every possible negative outcome, including on a global scale. Agency officials are forced into years of analysis and reams of paper designed to fend off litigation instead of making sound, informed policy decisions. This has real consequences. The normally pressured Lance, an oil and gas project in western Wyoming, is approaching 8 years of study and drafting. The Converse County EIS in my home county is now well into its 4th year. A proposed pipeline to carry carbon from western Wyoming is languishing in its 5th year. There are also countless examples of smaller projects that are made costlier and result in greater negative impacts. For example, a small power provider in my county faces lengthy NEPA delays to install additional electricity to a local wastewater plant, despite the fact that it's parallel and adjacent to an existing power line across federal land. A Wyoming-based wireless provider is forced to undergo NEPA-related analysis to replace their copper lines with fiber, upgrading their network. These types of problems incentivize industry to figure out how to route their projects around federal lands, which results in greater impact on the land and the wildlife. NEPA delays can also be downright dangerous. Wyoming has 4.6 million acres of forest that has been decimated by insects and disease. Yet accessing these lands to remove fuel loads and improve the health of the forest is hindered by NEPA. There are 2 actions that Congress and the agencies could take that would dramatically improve NEPA before it even begins. Congress should write new rules on what constitutes a federal nexus. For example, in Converse County's EIS, only 10% of the surface is federally owned. Yet a well pad that sits on private land that drills into private minerals and then accesses federal minerals laterally up to 2 miles away is considered a federal nexus, even though no federal land is disturbed. The same is true for telecommunication providers attempting to improve their networks over and through federal lands, triggering NEPA review even when it's a minority of the distance. Second, counties as units of local government should be afforded great deference by land managers in the federal government. We agree with the Western Governors Association that states and local governments are not merely stakeholders, but rather co-regulators established by Congress. This requires a willing partner on the federal side, and we hope this committee will continue to demand that agencies fulfill their coordination responsibilities. Now, once NEPA has been triggered, we believe this committee should consider creating a category of actions or locations that would automatically provide for more categorical exclusions. Paralleling or replacing existing infrastructure should not trigger full NEPA review. Congress should explicitly require the agencies to grant categorical exclusions in areas like this. The size and scope of federal EISs are a significant administrative burden to county personnel and budgets. The Department of Interior's recent order to reduce the amount of pages in EISs is certainly helpful, but only if accompanied by the trimming of the exhaustive analysis forced on the agency by litigation. And finally, the agency should make better use of the tools already at their disposal. They should use tiering to reduce redundancies and grant local governments administrative review authority at the end of the process to correct errors before going public. In conclusion, counties in Wyoming and across the West are ready, willing, and able to assist in the goal of modernizing NEPA to ensure that it continues to work for the benefit of decision makers. Mr. Chairman, I thank you for this opportunity to testify today, and I look forward to the questions.